paid to protect a piece of paradise. A West Palm Beach police officer is one of many who get your taxpayer dollars to patrol manatee zones.
But instead, he is now being investigated, or has been investigated, by FDLE, the state attorney's office, and his own police department. These investigations were over allegations or accusations that he lied on his timesheets, and he's still employed.
WPTV News Channel 5's Michelle Casada shows you what she's uncovered now.
During the colder months of the year, police agencies are contracted by Palm Beach County to protect manatees in our waterways.
Some people actually don't know that they're running through a manatee speed zone.
But in 2017, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement wanted to file charges against a West Palm Beach police officer paid to enforce manatee zones. An investigation determined Lieutenant Gregory Babcock received more than $2,500 in overtime for hours he did not work. Part of FDLE's evidence came from a fellow officer turned whistleblower. He hired a licensed private investigator who recorded Babcock at home on a day he was paid for 8 hours of overtime. Despite the findings, the state attorney's office did not file charges, finding instead that the evidence did not meet the requirements for prosecution. I went a step further and found documents from the 2016-2017 manatee enforcement season show there was only one weekend Babcock submitted written boating warnings. I tracked down the boaters.
Not only do I not remember it, it never happened.
I know it was a long time ago, 2016. You pull up records on what was going on that day?
I've actually never been on that boat and never received any warning in the past 15 years.
He said his boat was in the water at a marina.
They pull into the marina, they could write down a registration number on a boat that they probably see out here.
Another boater had a similar story.
I never got pulled over.
A third told me in an email, in checking my calendar and photos, I wasn't on the water the Saturday, November 19, 2016, as my wife and I had our grandkids at our house for a few days. Law enforcement expert Andrew Scott took a look at the warnings.
If you have boaters who allegedly were issued a warning by this officer and you've contacted those boaters and they have no recollection of this, and furthermore, there's no signature from that individual boater, now you have a significant problem. You have a problem of falsifying official documents.
In the last 8 years, Babcock has been disciplined for 8 internal affairs investigations, including one for, quote, loafing on duty.
I think the city has an obligation to go back in and investigate who's watching the hen house.
4 months into FDLE's investigation, Lieutenant Babcock rechecked his hours and reimbursed the city for more than $400 for hours he realized he did not work. The police department later opened an internal affairs investigation. In it, Babcock expressed concerns about the surveillance video of him, but the investigator found more hours Babcock could not prove he worked. New at 6, find out if the new mayor and a county commissioner plan to take action now. Live in the studio, Michelle Casada, WPTV News Channel 5.